Perfect. Please
Excellent,
go ahead.
excellent.
Thank you.
So my topic today is looking at the energetic fundamentals of what is true health. So what do I mean by true health? True health, from an energetic perspective, is a very dynamic, balancing kind of process, and the person is fully engaged. So as we heard just now, it's a multi-dimensional process. The whole being is in resonance, and it is a natural state. We are born to be well, right? And it's a state of vitality, high resilience, adaptability, and flexibility. So there's a sense of ease, there's a sense of flow, there's a sense of joy and peace. So it's basically being in harmony within yourself and in harmony with the environment. So the question is, what is interfering with this natural state? Because the baseline of your health will determine how well you're going to recover when something happens. So in our society, we have very strong challenges to stay well. We, as you know, we have a very strong environmental toxicity at every level, in the food, in the water, in the air. We have surrounded by electromagnetic fields, which are not conducive to health. There's toxicants in every product, there's geobiotic stress, and so on. So all this interfere with hormonal balance, brings oxidative stress, and brings a lot of inflammation. So that is a major component of our challenges. Then there's also chronic overwhelm in the world right now with the situation. There's chronic overwork. People do too much. There's a very strong current of anxiety. The media doesn't help that. So there's a constant pressure to do and do and do. So another level is that they focus on symptom and disease. So in a way, it's resisting it instead of understanding it. And we tend to trust the outer authority more than we trust our own intuition. And that can lead to different problems. So people tend to avoid the time to reflect on what's really happening with them. And so they tend to feel more like a victim, and so not taking that full responsibility for their wellness. And there's also a disconnection from within because they're so busy doing things outside, and disconnection from nature, which is a very powerful healing environment. So if we look at the basic requirements for health, that's even before we treat or we do very specific treatment. We need to check how well are they detoxing, and what level of their being is more in need of detoxification. Do they have quality nourishment at every level? Do they have a balance of movement and rest? And how well do they manage the energetic of input and output in their life? So let's have a look. When we talk about detoxification, I'm talking about all levels, right? So they could have one level more impacted, or they could have multi-levels. So it's a matter of assessing where is the need to actually detox first. So if we look at the physical detoxification, we need to check the external environment of that physical body. So are they very strongly affected by electromagnetic field? Are they affected by chemical toxicity, right? In their work, or in the air or water and food? Now we have also the problem of nanoparticles and plastics, which intruding every aspect of our life. So the environment is not very natural in what we're living. And there's also visual and auditory overwhelm. When we are anywhere in a city, there's always noise also, or visual impact. So there's a strong programmation of energetics coming from that external context. But also we need to make sure like the person also has discrimination into what they ingest themselves, because then we have a at least a choice what we put in the physical body. So a lot of people are not aware that they're ingesting genetic modified organism or artificial color or fluoride or glyphosate, which is in every any food that is not organic. Metal cosmetics have a lot of heavy metal. We inhale fragrance. So there's also information sensory overload. So, but at least we have some kind of choice in what we put internally into our system. Because if not the gut, the immune system, nervous system, hormonal system, and the energy system overall will be very strongly impacted. So we need to start looking at that just as a very basic for health. And unfortunately, in our society, a lot of people have also need to detox mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. So again, there's a lot of confusion in our world. There's a lot of misinformation or different things that may not match what we need to do. So there's overwhelm from every angle. And so that puts people off the center, and often they stop being really truly who they are. They often, in chronic illnesses, in all my decades of practice, there's always some kind of unprocessed trauma that has blocked the energy and that is interfering with the functioning in the body. So, and that produces, maybe ongoing fear or instability and disconnection in this emotional system. So it's very important to help them process that trauma, so then they can get the inner teaching from that. It's like, bringing the lotus out of the mud kind of image. So, and a lot of people also stop becoming disconnected from source and they get really lost and disempowered. So this is very important to assess as we give and offer some treatment. Because if the body is busy trying to process what's going on inside, it's not allowing the energy to absorb the treatment that we're giving. So when I talk about quality nourishment, this is also on every level. So physically, we need to make sure they have clean air, at least inside the house. It'd be very good investment to have a filtering system in the water, or get a device that restructures the water. Organic food is a must if someone is currently ill, to help the recovery much faster. Sunlight is very, very powerful, particularly early sunlight. Rising sunlight is very empowering for the person, impact the pineal gland, the vitamin D level, the hormone level, very, very healing for the immune system. Grounding in nature by itself is extremely powerful and healing, and that's very easy to do. And, putting yourself into an environment that's more conducive to health. There's a very interesting field called homeostasis, which is basically bringing some healthy stress to the body. Like, for instance, standing in one leg and see how long you can stay in balance in one leg. Or holding your breath and see how long you can stop breathing, right? Or having a cold shower or something like that. So it's a short stress, but enough to bring resilience to the body. And they have amazing results just using that homeostasis process. Now, on the mental level, of course, it's very important to assess whether they have empowering thoughts about their healing process and their health. Whether they trust their body is self-repairing or resilient. Probably they've been focusing on what's wrong with them for a long time. So it's about getting them to focus on what's right about them, what's strong in the system, what can they access that can help them heal. And also having a mindset to, like a perception shift with the symptom, to actually be able to connect with the symptom and start decoding what the message is that the body is bringing. So clearing the mind as much as possible from any thought that is not constructive, and encouraging the person to do just a little pause, like a meditative kind of space in the day, which if it's kept regularly can change their whole life. And of course, emotionally, cultivating feeling of gratitude, appreciation of love, is extremely healing, extremely healing. So again, just not, staying on the worry, on the fear, but start opening this higher vibrational field of high feeling, doing what they love, what brings them joy, right? So the heart start being calmer and more at peace, so the body can start healing. And spiritually, the same thing, making sure they start connecting in their own personal way, which is a unique way to source or cosmic energy, cultivating that faith that they are never alone, and even being conscious of the power of prayer, right? So all this is supportive of basic health. And of course, movement and rest. Is there some kind of balance in their life? Because, energy is a constant movement. We're not designed to sit all day in front of a computer, right? Movement is flow, movement is life. So we need to encourage the person to move in a way that they enjoy. So, gardening or walking or swimming or dancing, whatever they feel joy doing in moving. And of course, is that balanced by proper rest and sleep. And because that's when they restore the energy, they repair, and they start resetting the system. So that is very important balance. So a lot of people have that completely out of balance. And then overall, managing the energetics. So input versus output. So again, quality nourishment, adequate quantity, right? Empowering thoughts, high vibrational healing, and strong spiritual foundation will be a very strong basic for sustaining health and recovering health. And of course, releasing what is not beneficial. So the body does that naturally through the digestion, but we need to do that on the mental level, releasing limiting beliefs or disempowering beliefs, negative thoughts, all this kind of thing. Releasing low vibrational feeling like, guilt, depression, anxiety, anger, all this has to be processed so they can raise the vibration of these feelings, transmute them, because all the messages that manifest into matter. So, if you hold guilt for a long time, it will inflame your bowels, right? So it's like it will manifest eventually into matter in your body and release any spiritual restriction that they might feel, right? So my experience, everybody has intuition. Everybody knows when they do something wrong, and they know they are warned. The problem is that they may either deny it or after a while become unaware of it. And so instead of taking action early, they ignore it. And so if that goes for too long, the intuition message now becomes a symptom, because that's a stronger warning. And make sure that, it calls your attention, because your body wants you to survive and wants you to attend to what's going on. So if you're not aware, it will take over and bring discomfort, bring pain, tension, or anxiety. So it will manifest in a way that you will start hopefully paying attention. So intuition turns into symptom when we move away from our authentic self. And then also when we're exposed to strong toxicity, or if we are completely unaware that we are on the wrong track. So my experience, again, when I work with people on body, mind, spirit level, the body always reflects what is not processed. That means what we have forgotten or we have lost awareness of. And so that's the importance of tuning in, that interoception, right? That ability to identify, access, and then try to understand and respond from that pattern of internal signal. So we might encourage the person to ask questions. And if they're very fatigued, what drains my energy? Am I overdoing it? Am I undernourishing myself? Am I toxic? Right? What is draining my energy? What irritates me? Right? If they have severe inflammation, something is irritating, right? In the mental, emotional, spiritual level. If they're in pain or had a trauma, like, okay, what is actually blocking that energy? Where is this pain stagnation coming? And very often it has some connection with the trauma. Or right now we need to also ask, what is poisoning me? Have I got ingested anything that is toxic to my body? And what is that experience or what is that pain teaching me? Right. So it's about decoding the person, decoding the symptom, right? So to return to health is basically a teamwork, right? Is the person teaming with the body and starting decoding what's going on, also teaming with the practitioner or a team of practitioners. I had the patient who took complete charge of her recovery, and she worked with me as well as 3 or 4 other practitioners. She decided exactly what she wanted to do and felt totally comfortable with everything. And she recovered fully from cancer diagnosis, and that was 25 years ago. So the importance is to engage the person, and the person takes really full charge of what's happening. And as a practitioner, we support, we listen, we offer therapy, we assess the condition, and we educate the person, right? Doctor comes from Latin docere, which is teach, right? We need to teach that person to get back to health. And as we heard just before this presentation, empower them through engagement. They need to feel that empowerment, that they can heal, and healing comes from within. So we are a mentor to the person, and we help facilitate that healing process through our guidance, through our skills. But we need to trust completely that mind-body wisdom, that it's within the person, and we need to work with it. So everyone has a unique way of healing and the particular order in the healing. And we need to, it's not what we think, we need to allow the body to guide us through that journey. So the person is there to express and engaging and listening to the body, fully practicing what they learn, the skill they might learn, maybe make changes that are needed, right? So again, full engagement. They are the ultimate experts on their own energy, and they are the one able to access that inner wisdom that's within them, right? So we need to really support them to do that connection. And the healing process is amazing because it gives us time and space to grow through that experience as long as we're processing it. So the time spent in processing the experience, the trauma, whatever it is, gives us that space to grow. So we need some patience, and we need total trust in that ability to heal. So energetically speaking, disease is an opportunity to learn about ourselves and about the experience and grow in wisdom, right? So, but the key is start decoding the message that the body brings through that inner exploration. So to me, the symptom is just a doorway to the core healing process, because the symptom is like the part of your energy that's calling you, like, okay, get in from here and I will take you through what's causing the real thing, right? And this is my experience when I work with people. So ultimately, we need to relearn the art of health, right? It's a balancing act, and it's an ongoing process of staying connected with our authentic self. This is a very strong key. People, if they don't live who they are from their authentic self, they will get sick. So being authentic is being aligned in mind, heart, action, right? And the ability to flow with what is, not resisting, but being like water, just moving, flowing with it. So basically, we have three key processes. We need to release and help the person release whatever is in the way of the healing. This is trauma, perception, toxins, anything that's unbeneficial has to clear. And then help the person reconnect with their deep value, their needs, to really know who they are, and then be true to who they are, right? That's absolutely essential in the healing process. And then, of course, help them recharge with high quality support and things that they can do themselves, and our treatment and support as well. So I'm coming from a Chinese medicine background, so looking at the 5 elements of health, all of them are important, right? In the heart, on the top, this is the intuitive sense, connecting and sensing through the heartfelt experience. So Heart Math Institute is very powerful in supporting the confirmation of this. Being inner connected, which is that interoceptive awareness, like tuning in, feeling, accessing, connecting, processing, and then responding to what the internal signal are showing. And then in the metal element, the lung is being in rhythm with self and being in rhythm with life, and being adaptable to what is. The water element, which is the kidney, is to do with inner trust, creating meaning out of every experience and extracting the wisdom as we grow through each experience. And that's re-strengthen our constitution. And of course, the power of imagination and visualization, that is something they can do from within, which is extraordinarily powerful. I helped one lady, or many people, but the one lady in particular, she decided to go through 1 round of chemotherapy. So I said, okay. And then I supported her with the powerful energetic meditation and internal visualization, and she had no side effect from that particular round. And then she did other things to support herself. So all these aspects are very important, and this is all the person can do from within, right? So basically, we need to move from the old paradigm, moving from fear of the disease, from separating from the symptom, like take it away, I don't want it, to appreciating the body wisdom, why the body is bringing that symptom to you as a message. So strengthening the connection with the symptoms so the person can decode the message. And once they have that and they respond, the body can now start healing. So it's a complete shift from the Western paradigm. So this is just a review of what true health might connect with. So we need definitely commitment and being consistent. Once the person make a change, obviously, and it works, they need to be consistent with that. Having that congruence between heart, mind, and action center, the 3 core centers of the body, is absolutely essential. So that brings coherence in your energy field. When you have coherence, you have health. So again, connection, cooperation with your body's wisdom, being totally confident in your intuition. No matter what the authority says, if it doesn't feel right, it's not right for you. And being comfortable with change, right? Life is change, right? Nothing is static. So becoming comfortable with that is a major shift. And constantly adapting. So it's a continuous journey of exploration and growth. So if the person has that perception, it shifts everything together. So I never liked the term patient, and I look at my the person I work with as a student. So it's a student of life, student of health, and so we need to cultivate the capacity to be curious, to learn, and to grow through their experience. So we're actually partnering with them, right? And we educate them, right? Doctor is teacher. We need to educate, we need to mentor them. And through that facilitation, we allow them to integrate that experience into, learning and wisdom that strengthen them. So we need to remind them that the force is you, like they have the power to heal from within. We're just facilitating and helping from the outside. The healing is happening within them, and they need to remember that. So then they can have true health, which is joyful play. So I'll put some researches for you and resources. This amazing research on water by Vida Austin, The Intelligence of Water. We are 80% water. So you'll be quite amazed about her research. It's fascinating. Green Medinfo is a very powerful resource for quality support. And these are two groups for helping detoxing at some level, and myself as the energetic mentoring, which is my specialty. So thank you so much for your attention. And if there's any question, please let me know. I'm going to stop share.